Rosario says it's game time.
And here comes Game Winner on the extreme outside to challenge Parsimony.
As they turn into the stretch, and it's Mr. Money who's homeward bound.
But Game Winner's just a little too much, and he's gliding away now.
They run to the 16th hole, and it's Mr. Money.
And he's strutting his stuff late, amassed a 6-length cushion under the line. Game Winner, the champ, is back.
Mr. Money's going to cash in big in the Indiana Derby, his third consecutive Breeding Stakes win.
Maximum Security cuts the corner and opens up. Maximum Security less than a quarter of a mile to go, and he sits on top. But Maximum Security proves he's the real deal with a gate-to-wire win in the Florida Derby.
King for a Day forges to a narrow advantage. Maximum Security has been defeated. King for a Day by a length.
But Mucho Gusto means business in the Affirmed Stakes, and Mucho Gusto is the one to beat. Kicks away smartly to Roadster on the outside.
El pupilo de Bob Baffert con Joseph Talamo y no puede perder.
A clear-cut victory for Mucho Gusto and Joe Talamo.
Taking a look at the Los Alamitos Derby, the co-feature amongst sophomores the previous week to this upcoming Haskell Invitational. Game Winner, of course, had been far from that as a 3-year-old in 2019, the 2-year-old champion 4-for-4 for trainer Bob Baffert, a son of Candy Ride out of the AP Indy Mare Indiana Giving, had run very well in the Rebel Stakes, finishing second to who eventually became the Derby favorite Omaha Beach, and then he ran going 3 wide or going 4 and 3 wide in the Santa Anita Derby, second to his stablemate Roadster, and then he of course encountered all kinds of trouble. Wide post in the Kentucky Derby, ended up even being wider once the gate sprung open. He was about 27 wide on the turn coming home, and he still ended up running 5th. A very credible performance on a heavy racetrack with an extremely wide trip as he basically consumed mint juleps with the over 150,000 patrons at Churchill down in the first leg of the Triple Crown. He got a break after having some hind-end issues. Bob Baffert was able to get him up to speed to run in this race, the Los Alamitos Derby, a race in which Baffert is used as a springboard for second half success, West Coast most notably in 2017. He won this race and then went to the Travers, won that in the Pennsylvania Derby, went on to finish 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Classic behind Gunrunner and his stablemate Collected on a day in which Arrogate fell from grace. He had been going in a downward spiral, but nevertheless, these performances by West Coast, the 2 Grade 1 wins and the 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Classic, helped him to capture the Eclipse Award for 3-year-old champion in 2017. In this race, Game Winner was of course trying to rebound and get on the ledger and hit the board as far as getting in the winner's circle. He was able to do that, winning by 5 lengths in 148.30. This is racehorse time. These are the kind of times that we typically saw in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s with the really high quality 3-year-olds. It looks like if you look at Mr. Money in the Indiana Derby, even though he was only going a mile and a 16th, and this time in the Los Al Derby, short of a regression in the upcoming Travers where Baffert's pointing Game Winner, it looks like these 3-year-olds are starting to trend upward. The key will be, is it going to continue? And then when we get around to Breeders' Cup time, will there be a regression? Will there be a maintain? Or will there be a maintenance? Will that high level of performance maintain itself? So Game Winner certainly put himself in a position to be asked and pose those questions. And as to whether he's going to go to Saratoga and be very, very successful, Bob Baffert, if it weren't for American Pharaoh being upset by Keen Ice, would have won 3 straight Travers. He won in 2016 with Arrogate in record-breaking fashion, breaking General Assembly's 37-year-old track record for the late Leroy Jolly, the son of Secretariat, winning in 2 flat, and Arrogate broke that record. And then, of course, the next year West Coast, as I aforementioned, would capture the Midsummer Derby as well. And so Baffert is trying to, put him and possibly Mucho Gusto, whoever he deems, credible or worthy, into the mix for the Travers Stakes. Game Winner wins this race in 148.30 by 5 lengths in front of Parsimony, trained by Doug O'Neill. He was on the Triple Crown Trail, ventured out to Arkansas, didn't do so well, ran very, very well in this race, finished 4 lengths in front of Game Winner stablemate Kingley, also trained by Baffert, and Feeling Strong was 4th and last in a very, very small field. As we all know, California races have a tendency to have smaller fields, and to be honest with you, quite quite a few of the better 3-year-olds like Sparkyville, in addition to Mucho Gusto and some others, had participated in the Affirmed, and there weren't a lot of holdovers that ended up showing back up or returning on the scene for the Los Al Derby. But Game Winner got what Bob Baffert needed, was a good tightener for the Travers Stakes. We're going to see if he can get that 1.25 miles that, unfortunately, based on a really, really horrible trip, he wasn't able to navigate quite to the satisfaction of those who were betting on him on Derby Day. But he ran a huge race there. He's gotten over his issues with his hind end. He seems to be going in the right direction. We shall certainly see in the Travers Stakes at Saratoga. Game Winner, the 2019 2-year-old champion male, gets on the board with his first win of the new calendar year, winning the Los Alamitos Derby by 5 lengths in 148.30 for Joel Rosario and trainer Bob Baffert.
You know, I wanted him to get a little bit, just a little bit more focused, leaving the gate and into the race a little bit more. He was falling back a little bit too far, so it's not much blinker. But I think he's been working well with it like that. So, but just the fact he was training exceptionally well coming in here, I think that break really helped him.
Yeah, it was perfect. He broke well in there, and then I was just sitting in there, and I just want to let him be happy wherever he was in the first, the beginning, and then let the horse will go into the lead. I was, and then cycle a little bit, and then decided to put him in, in the clear, and then give it a clean run. He, every step of the way, he was just getting improving his position.
He had to run. He had to show me something. I just loved the way that last 8th of a mile. You could tell he turned the after. He let him run a little bit there at the end. I told him to try to get an easy out, but get something out of it so we can have a little foundation. And he was a little fresh today, but he handled it, professionally.
And they're off in the Los Alamitos Derby. Game Winner and Parsimony together as they make the long swing home, and now Rosario just nudging Game Winner to a short lead. Parsimony is running a huge race right now and trying to give the champ all he can, but Game Winner's just a little too much, and he's gliding away now. Game Winner, the champ, is back, and he's strutting his stuff late, amassed a 6-length cushion under the line.